We are so excited to launch this new product today, the Balluff Digital Guide. Um, when we go out and introduce ourselves to customers in the packaging and food and beverage space, um, we talk about 6 application areas where we're really focused and where we really help customers with solutions. And the area that the BDG directly addresses is format change. So when we're talking about format change, we're talking about the adjustments that need to be made to a machine when they're changing from one product to another. For us, it really kind of comes down to 2 areas. Change parts, mechanical change parts that need to be replaced every time they're changing from one product to the other. We address with RFID. And then with our strength and measurement, when there's things that need to be adjusted in and out or up and down, we address it that way as well. So in the packaging world, it has a lot to do with, changeover has a lot to do with varying sizes or various package sizes. So if you imagine you're changing from the big family size jug to a small 8-ounce bottle, there's going to be a bunch of guide rails and different things that need to be changed and moved. So that's where we help customers. And whenever we go out and have this conversation about our 6 application areas, usually format change garners the most interest with customers. So I just clicked on the poll, and 80% of the respondents said that they're using a manual format change system, and that's pretty common with what we hear. So the reason that it's been so interesting in these conversations to customers that we're talking to is because there's some trends in the industry that are going on that are driving the need to automate. So customers are really demanding, or I should say consumers are really demanding more options. They want more package sizes. They want more personalization. One of the things we hear about in industry a lot is lot size 1. And it's really driving manufacturers to have to do more changeovers. So they're running more recipes more often, and so that means more changeover. There's also an aging workforce. So the person who's been operating that machine for 40 years and knows what to do like the back of their hand, those people are leaving with increasing frequency. And they're being replaced by often younger, more digitally inclined people that need to be brought up to speed quickly. And so automation provides an opportunity to do that. And just like in any industry, people are looking to reduce downtime, increase OEE. They're looking for greater efficiency in their plants, not only from new equipment, but also from existing machines as well. So there's this desire for automated changeover. And when people think about automating changeover, they envision changing a recipe on the HMI. You press a button and motors move everything into place. And that's a really great solution. But it can be costly, and it can be hard to implement that on a machine retrofit. And we often encounter customers, just like we see here, they're looking to improve a manual situation where they're using unconnected rotary counters, or they have hash marks drawn on the frame of the machine, or they're comparing values with a clipboard and trying to get there manually. And it becomes very mistake prone. There's a lot of opportunities for error. We have some pictures later of where these opportunities are on the machine, and on machines like cartoners, they're all over the place that these adjustments have to be made. And so there's a lot of opportunity for error. And so by working with them, Balluff's got a real strength in linear positioning. And so by working with our customers to provide some kind of a measurement device along with visual indication, whether it's on the HMI, or Balluff's got a device called the Smart Light, or an indicator light that can provide them guidance, and then having IO-Link tie it all together. We've really been able to help them to reduce mistakes and reduce the amount of time it takes to do changeover. So now when the operator changes the recipe on the HMI, they still move the devices. The human is still the mover, but the Balluff devices guide them to get to the right position so that it happens more quickly. It's more precise. There's less waste on the back end trying to get the machine up and going. And then the machine knows because we're connected, the machine knows everything's in the right spot. So it won't run until it knows everything's in the right spot. So you're reducing some of those, or eliminating some of those errors that cause downtime in the first place. So for us, it's proven to be a really nice, cost-effective solution between fully manual and a fully automated changeover process. we've been really successful with it. And this is an example of it. Over on the right here, you can see we've got a measurement device, a linear positioning device, that's picking up that moving fixture. The operator, it's a spindle adjustment, so the operator is rotating that little hand crank. The indicator light spins in the direction of travel, and it's going to change color to validate when they get into the right position. And we've got IO Link tying it together so it's connected to the machine, and that's where you get that validation that everything's in the right spot. So we've been successful with it, like I mentioned, but since we've been talking to customers about this, they've been asking us, hey, could you guys get us a digital version of the counter we already use? And that's why we're here today. Now we've got it, and we're so excited. It's our version of a digital position indicator. We call it the Balluff Digital Guide, or BDG. So what we have here is a user interface that displays a target and actual value. So it's going to say where they're at right now and what they need to get to based on the recipe change. We've got a rotating LED that spins in the direction that they need to spin the wheel, and then changes color to validate when they get into the target position. If they blow past it, it's going to start rotating the other way to tell them to go back. It doesn't run on battery. Power and signal comes over IO Link, but it does have a battery buffer so that it can hold position through shutdowns and power cycles. So it's got absolute position. It doesn't have to rehome. One of the really cool things about this is it's IP69K. That is an industry only for Balluff. We're the only ones with this form factor that has IP69K, full washdown. And then we've got some embedded condition monitoring features for not only for the health of this device, but also that can be used to monitor the health of the machine. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So this really gives us another tool in our toolkit to address these changeover applications. I think the interface is unique, and the customers that have seen it so far have really liked it. And the IP69K is a really nice feature. And then these condition monitoring and smart features really open up more opportunities to reduce downtime for our customers. But in my opinion, it's Balluff's position and really our expertise with IO Link that really sets us apart from the field. We know what we're doing with IO Link. We can provide a full solution. If somebody wants to improve changeover, we can do the whole thing to help them with it. And we've been doing it for over a decade. We were part of the original IO Link consortium. We have thousands of successful integrations and that we can lean on, and the expertise to back it up. So you can feel really confident that Balluff is going to help you be successful with your project. Just spending a little bit of time on the smart features that are available. The Balluff Digital Guide is part of a new family of products from Balluff called SAMS, which stands for Smart Automation and Monitoring System. So SAMS devices, they have a standard set of condition monitoring parameters, both for the health of the device along with the health of the machine. So if something's wrong with the device, like for example, the operating temperature is too high in the position where it's mounted, or the signal quality is bad, it's going to give an alert to have somebody come and address it before there's a failure. Also, it can periodically monitor its immediate environment for machine health information. So, for example, it could monitor vibration. So these condition monitoring features and this dual functionality, it's an automation device or a sensor, but it can also provide condition monitoring. It really takes advantage of the full capability of IO Link, which is really becoming the driver for Industry 4.0, smart machine, and predictive maintenance initiatives. There's also embedded smart features, and you can see those listed here. There's some internal logic blocks. I think this is one of the primary things that customers have been impressed with so far as we've gotten this out and talked to them about it. The internal logic blocks can compare values and provide outputs. So you don't have to have the PLC handle all that information or know what to do with it. So the example I gave of, well, we're going to use this guy to monitor the vibration where it's at every once in a while. You can configure the device with a threshold, and if the vibration exceeds that, it will provide an output. So, I mean, one way to do it could be you're sending that to the PLC and the PLC has to interpret it and be programmed to know what to do with it. Or we could just monitor for that threshold with the internal logic and send an output, and now we do something with that. So those logic blocks have proven to be really interesting and powerful to people we've shown it to. Another feature that people like, one of the smart features, is this ping function. So if a device needs service, or you just want to know where it is and direct an operator or a maintenance person to go address that device, you can ping it and it's going to light up with a bright blue LED that's very visible. For this device in particular, I can envision people using it for if there's a sequenced changeover. You could ping the device that needs to be changed next, or you could ping it in order. So I think that's going to be a nice feature here as well. So the end result we're really looking for is full smart machine functionality. So devices that have traditionally just been dumb switches can now provide additional data about themselves and about the environment, data that can be acted upon or trended, logged, trended, analyzed. And really what we're aiming for, the end goal, is machines that are easier to operate and maintain with less downtime. That's the end goal. We also don't want to make it ridiculously hard. I mean, there's added features. So a natural question for people would be, well, is this going to be a nightmare to program and set up? Part of the SAMS family is what we're calling the Balluff engineering tool. So this is a tool that can be used to configure the IO-Link devices on a machine. So every IO-Link device on a machine, whether it's a Balluff device or not. We're demoing this now. If you're interested, let us know. But it really simplifies the configuration of the devices to make it easier on the people that have to program and set up a machine. Here's the nuts and bolts. Everybody always wants to know how much something costs. So the MSRP in the US here is $580, and that's for this fully featured version. Later this year, we're going to come out with another option that doesn't have the numerical indication, but that's a ways off. This is what we have, and it's available and ready to go today. So BDG 0291, we're ready to go. We've got some accessories that you'll see on the one pager or the cell sheet. So we've got a reducing sleeve to accommodate a different hollow shaft size. It comes out of the box with 20 millimeters, and we're showing a 5 meter cable option for both washdown and standard applications. We've got all different cable lengths in both those types of configurations. It's not really an accessory, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention. I'll say it again, Balluff's awesome with IO-Link. We know what the heck we're doing, and we have IO-Link masters and a whole world of devices to support a full controls architecture for a setup and a solution. So IO-Link masters as well, we can help there. So where can you use these? You can use a BDG anywhere you've got a manual position adjustment, or really if you want to, you might have a digital version and you want to take advantage of the functionality of IO-Link, another great opportunity for you. But by digitalizing this process and providing the user with indication, you're going to get an ROI from eliminating those errors and spending a lot less time making the changes. I mentioned we've got some application diagrams or pictures. So a cartoner has these adjustments all over the place for the in-feed guide rails, the magazine that holds the different size cartons that's going to have to be adjusted when they're moving from one size to the next, a tape head, the outfeed roller. There's all kinds of places for these adjustments. Similar to a case erector, case packer, some of the same, a magazine, tape head, what have you, guide rails, they're all over the place on these machines. So in secondary packaging, they tend to be pretty similar. I'm so excited to see where we're going to end up with primary packaging. Now that we have IP69K, I really think it opens up a world of applications for you. If you have primary packaging applications and you've got manual adjustments that need to be made, maybe you never would have considered using a connected device like this, and now you have the opportunity to do so. outside of the packaging world, and I did see a couple of names, company names from outside the world of packaging. So welcome and thank you. They're all over the place too. Here's an example from the automotive world and metal stamping. So you can see these guys were using a measuring scale and a magic marker on an in-feed application. So anywhere you've got these manual position adjustments, there's an opportunity to digitalize the process. I mentioned we've been successful. So case studies available. We worked with a customer who was able to capture and document a 65% reduction in the time it takes to do their changeover. I mean, that's really powerful stuff. And oftentimes when we're talking about changeover, we're talking about planned downtime. So if you can reduce planned downtime, you're really talking about increasing capacity or building capacity back into that plant just by digitalizing a process like this. So it's really powerful. We know there's an ROI, and we're excited to work with you on it. So that's the introduction today. I think next steps, you know, I've mentioned it 100 times. We're eager to get out and work with you on it. So you can reach out to me. My contact information is going to be put up here soon. You can reach out to your Balluff salesperson, but we're excited to get out and demo these things or do a virtual demo like this to dive in more technically, to talk about a full solution or what the architecture would look like, to help you figure out what an ROI might look like on your application. Or just if you want more information about what you saw here today, we can send you some of the documentation.